In recent years, artificial intelligence is remaking the world of filmmaking. Every day, I see regular people inching closer to being able to create the same kind of Hollywood blockbusters. So in this video, I want to talk about some new artificial intelligence tools, some innovations, some breakthroughs, and talk about each of those inch-by-inch steps that we're making. It's time to close the gap between amateur and professional. So we're going to be covering everything from the new Adobe video tools that are basically text to everything, to a new groundbreaking image generator that actually can produce, through diffusion models, text. So if you're the kind of person that preferred the Snyder cut, keep watching. All right, so let's talk about Adobe Firefly because it has new wings. It is now like the ChatGPT of video editing, and what I saw in this demo was incredible. So clearly I'm biased because I do a lot of video editing, but when Adobe introduced the new Firefly for video, text to everything, I was blown away. Not having to search the internet whenever you need a sound effect or music, wonderful. Color grading, I don't really do that much, but big movie people do it all the time. Awesome. Video-to-transcript, useful. I have a plugin for it, but that'd be nice if it was built in. And then to be able to type, I want this kind of an effect on the text. Absolutely just game-changing, different, awesome. Ooh, molten cloud. I have spent so much time downloading like different text effects and I have them all organized and I never still have what I want. Can you imagine what these videos will turn into? Cyberpunk everything. Analyze the transcript, find B-roll, drop it into place. Wow. So Adobe might be rolling out these features later this year. I'll definitely be keeping a close eye on that. So none of the diffusion models right now do a great job of actually writing text onto screen. I mean, that was yesterday, not today. So this is DeepFloyd. So released by Stability AI, who is behind the big stable diffusion model that a lot of people use. And their new tool can smartly integrate text into images. Proof is in the pudding. Let's see what it can do. So here's my prompt. An avocado holding a surfboard, but the surfboard has the text "Curious Future" written on it. Okay, not so bad. Not the best E I've ever seen on Future, but I buy it. It works, it's readable, makes sense. Curious Future? It's a little off, but still it's better than what I've seen in the past, so it's a step forward. So I'm not switching from Midjourney just because of the text prompts, but that is a nice feature. Once in a while, maybe I'll need to come to this tool if I really want, you know, like words on a sign to look good. Nvidia is definitely pushing into generative video in a big way. Imagine experiencing high quality video that was generated, which was rendered right before your eyes just for you. Well, that's kind of what we have right now with Nvidia's new video latent diffusion model. So it starts like other diffusion models, generating a video frame by frame. And then the video LDM actually adds a timeline, a new dimension to what it's generating. Now the tricky part is that you need the sequences to come together in a way that makes sense. So you need a whole new layer to this thing. So here you can see the special process that's happening to make sure that the things that are in between the keyframes actually make sense to what you might see in a video from the real world. So here the model figured out with this teddy bear how the hands and the guitar need to move. So here's the text prompt. A cat playing in the grass. You can see it's trying to kind of wag its tail a little bit. Waves crashing against a building, ominous lighting. So look, here's Kermit playing a guitar. Dude, how cool is that? He's kind of jamming out there. Generating this driving scene. Now look at that cinematic teddy bear walking down that street. Hey, so Meta has just come up with this cool new thing called Dino V2, and it's a way to train computer vision models in a self-supervised way. Self-supervised means that we can just feed it a bunch of data. We don't have to label all of the data, so we can just basically dump the whole internet in. Now, sometimes those models are harder to train, but the fact that you don't have to label the data means you can give them much more data, so sometimes it's better, sometimes it's not. But in this case, having non-labeled data, but having 142 million Facebook photos to look at, definitely made the model powerful. So imagine you're working on some kind of project where you needed to compare two images, something in biology or medicine, and you want to distinguish between the two. With Dino V2, you don't have to worry about experts labeling the photos ahead of time. It can just figure that whole thing out on its own. So look at how much more accurate Dino V2 is at keeping tabs on where this dog's located in the video. And the fact that the AI can just learn from any image you give it is going to open up a world of possibilities to build new things on. So with all of these breakthroughs, is AI stealing Hollywood's thunder? Maybe. Slowly. So guess what? A big Marvel movies director said that he thinks in 2 years artificial intelligence will be to the point where it can make a huge blockbuster like he does. But hold on, because not everybody's really happy about that, especially studios that want to be very protective of their IP. So Phil Weiser, who's the technology chief at Paramount Global, showed some of the company leaders how AI could create pictures of famous characters that they owned, like SpongeBob and Optimus Prime, and they started to freak out. Now, on the other hand, the Writers Guild, which is like a big club for all the people who make movie scripts, said that it was okay to use ChatGPT to write a movie script and that the author who prompted it should get the credit. All right, so AI, maybe it can make movies, maybe it can write scripts, but can it design cars? Yeah, it can do that too. So did you know that car makers spend a lot of money and time trying to figure out what kind of look to give the car so that it like really appeals to people who want to buy it? Guess what? Artificial intelligence is sort of stepping into that slot. So General Motors is working with MIT and they've developed a new AI. So they asked lots of people what they thought about lots of different cars. They took all this data, they fed it into a neural network, and then it predicted what kind of cars people would actually like so much that they would buy it. It honed in on their opinion. And then when they actually made these into images, they showed them to people, the machine was right. It had a high accuracy and it did predict what people would like to see. And in some cases, what it came out with looked really close to the newest models that were on the lot, some of which it had not seen in its training data. So if you're a music fan and you want to see cool visuals that go along with your music, you need to know about a new model called Generative Disco. And it uses AI to help make awesome, like kind of trippy visuals to go along with music. So it understands rhythm and beat, and it can pull out different instruments. It can run these all through a visual system. The AI is also great if you're a songwriter, but you want some help thinking about what kind of visuals would be the best. It can start with your song and then suggest different images to pair with it. And it can also make sure that whatever you put there matches the beat. You can see where this is going. What it's going to be like to experience music with like visual, auditory, haptic feedback in the future will be unbelievable. But to make it in Hollywood, it's not just about great sound design. You also need to be good with the green screen. You have to be able to remove people from a setting. And AI has been helping a lot with this, but there's two different types of methods that are emerging. So even though AI generated green screens are like super useful, they're super quick, they're full of artifacts. How many Zoom calls have you been on where someone's like moving their head? And how many times have you seen like something on social media where it's like under the armpit, all that stuff. And a lot of that has to do with the real world variations in the background versus the foreground. It's just not as good as putting a real green screen behind someone and then getting in there with the human eye to figure out what's hair and what's actually the background. And for the perfectionists, there's new AI tools that help them get into those details and actually make everything look perfect. And for regular people, there's a whole set of AI tools that are just good at being quick, snappy, working in real time, and just getting the job done. And actually, it doesn't look like they're gonna merge anytime soon. I mean, eventually they will, but for now, you really need the hand of an expert. But at least the AI tools will cut the hours down for that person. Smash that subscribe button.